Yo, what's good everybody? So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can make over $700 a day or even more if you decide to lock in the trenches, because right now crypto is flying. Solana's already back up to almost $200. Bitcoin is already at like 120. Everything is just sending, okay? Now we're starting to come back down a little bit, yeah, sure, but like we're about to go crazy. So this is the perfect time to start learning how to trade if you aren't trading already, or to start trading in general, right? Just to be in the trenches. If you've noticed, a lot of the wallets that have kind of been dormant for a while are starting to come back because they know this is the life-changing opportunity to make a ton and a ton of money, okay? So in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you tons of different tools that I use, different strategies that I use, and not just like meme coins alone, right? Not just sitting in here and trading meme coins, because there's multiple different ways I like to make money in crypto, right? Whether that's shorting coins, whether that's, you know, bidding OGs. There's so many different things, right? Betting where the attention's going to go next, right? That's all you're doing, right? Now, some strategies are very quick profits, right? Because I know a lot of people, for example, me, I can sit in my computer for 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day and trade all day, right? That's fine. But some people have to either go to work or do something, right? Or they have their own business, so they can't really sit at their computer all day. So I'm going to be showing you guys strategies that anybody can use, right? This is going to be a very like broad video for anybody, right? So if one of these, like if one section doesn't apply to you, then another section will, right? But it's good to know all these skills because they can come very useful and very handy, you know, in the future, right? Because you never know what's going to happen, right? You never know when someone else is going to launch a coin or when you need to snipe a coin. So yes, let's get started. So the first thing is you're going to need a trading platform. So the best trading platform I'm going to recommend is Axiom. And now the next thing is you're going to need a laptop or computer, right? Now, some people do trade on their phones, right? I just think having a laptop or a computer is an extreme advantage over having a phone, right? Now, like, sure, if you're traveling or you're on vacation, right, it's fine to have your phone to look at your trades or just to open a couple trades, right? But if you're like going to be like scanning new pairs, right? If you're going to be trading coins, like this is a rug coin, but I'm just going to use this for an example. If you're going to be trading coins like this, you know, that are moving like super fast, this one does not have any volume. So let me find like a good example. Let's say this Inu coin. So this coin's like moving, it's a couple buys. It looks like another rug coin, right? But yeah, so I'm going to show you I'm also going to show you how to find rug coins, right? Because like I can see these like instantly, right? It's just because I guess intuition. I've been doing this forever, so it's like I kind of like have I just know what's a rug coin, right? So I'm going to show you how to find rug coins, but it's also very important to be trading on a laptop or a computer at least, right? Now, if you're trading on a laptop, you can even use like an adapter to connect to a monitor. And if you're like on a MacBook Pro, you can even use like 2 monitors, so you can have like 3 total monitors, because you need one for Discord, right? You need one for Telegram. You could probably squeeze your Telegram and Discord on the same same screen, and then you need one for Axiom, because if your friend is like, hey, right, like say we call out on our Discord a really good coin, you're like, oh, I got to look at this coin. Then you got to scroll down, you got to click on, you know, Discord, and then you got to copy the CA, right? This is about speed. This game is literally about speed, right? That's why like there's a lot of pro ex-pro gamers on here, whether it's like Fortnite or Apex or whatever, right? Whatever games they used to play, COD. They jump into here because like, yeah, I know there's tons of money to be made in games, right? But they're like, okay, crypto, it's like the same kind of thing, right? It's about strategy, especially with like Twitter tracker plays, right? You see a coin that comes out, like say Elon Musk tweets something, you find the good name, you snipe it, and then boom, right? Now for beginners, like this is it's a very high skilled, high paced thing, and I don't think they have the intuition yet to like understand how hard a coin can run, so they can end up either getting like completely nuked on, right? Because these coins aren't really made by real people. They're made by like scraper bots, so they'll buy with like 10 SOL. So if you buy after them and the coin doesn't send, you're gonna get absolutely cooked, negative 50% of your port. This is why I tell like beginners or people that are learning how to trade to do like final stretch or migrated coins with decent volume, right? Not like boatload crazy volume right here that like there's like a 10% holder, something where you look at holders so the coin cannot completely just disintegrate on you, right? So you have like an actual idea where the coin can go, and I'll be explaining this in a little bit later. So what I was breaking down, you need to have a good laptop, or not, it doesn't even have to be crazy, you just need to have at least a laptop or a PC. And yeah, like it's very simple. Now the next thing is you need to have a group. You need to have a group of people to trade with. And this is probably one of the most crucial things, because if you're trading alone, it's like, it's basically like playing solo versus squads, right, in a game. If you're playing with squads, then you're gonna, and you have a good squad, right? Now, if you got a squad that's a little bit right, then you're probably gonna get cooked. You're probably gonna get cooked, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if you got bot lobbies, so feel free to join the Discord. We got a bunch of pros in there. You know what I'm saying? Like we got people that are actually locked in, and I also have a VIP section in there. So if you want to trade with me, watch me live trade, also get one-on-ones with me, and a bunch of cool tools. I'm gonna be adding even more tools as well. So like, make sure you lock in. Go join the free Discord as well. So go do that. And yeah, it's better than just sitting here by yourself, because not just you versus other people, it's also you versus yourself, right? Especially when you're trading alone and you don't have anybody to like correct you. Like say you're down that day and you just start revenge trading, right? Versus someone's just like, bro, get off, take a break, just just watch the charts. So you don't have to trade, right? Like it's very, very, very important to have people to like help you, right? So I would 100% recommend having a Discord. Now, the next thing you're going to need to download is you're going to need to download Telegram, right? Because there is a lot of Telegram groups, good or bad, right? It's good to know who's calling out coins, and there's a lot of cabals on Telegram, a lot of cabal groups. So these are people that will run up a coin that's like 3 hours old or something, right? They bundle it all the way up, and then they post a CA in the group, and the coin goes absolutely crazy, right? So how could you be able to get into the cabals before they go insane? So I'll show you that as well. Now, let's start with final stretch. So how am I going to be looking for coins, right? How do I know what rug coins are? So firstly, you're going to need filters. So if you want, you could enter them all manually as I'm telling you right now, or you could join the Discord and manually just copy and paste them, right? You just go to import, Control V, and you're going to paste it. Super, super, super easy. You're going to do the same thing for final stretch and the same thing for migrated. So very, very, very simple. So I'm going to show you what you're going to be doing for this first. So for new pairs, I'm basically raw dogging new pairs. The only things that I have different are, I don't really want to see a bunch of these like different pools or different coins, because like I'm gonna be so for real, most of these like pools are kind of dead. Like nobody uses Boop anymore. Moonet, like bags, like all of it's like pretty mid. Moonshot. Now sometimes there will be a runner, like every 1 or 2 days. So like you could just see your tracked wallets buying it or whatever. And if the volume starts moving into one platform, like if a bunch of people start trading on Moonshot again or whatever, then you can turn the filters on. But all you're gonna be seeing is just coins that are just like dead, and that's just taking up space. You need to clear up your mind share. Like you need to like actually lock in. You know what I'm saying? You need to get rid of all the crap that you've been told before, all the stuff. You need to unlearn it, right? Like I'm gonna show you what you need to be actually doing, not like all the like random KOLs that are like, oh, copy trade cup C, copy trade cup C, copy trade orange. Like I'm just saying, like you gotta like actually lock in, and I'll be showing you strategy. So the ones I keep on are Pump Fund and Bonk, because this is where like the most volume is. Actually, the majority is actually on Bonk at the moment. And yeah, if something's good, then I'll turn on a filter for it. Now everything else I kind of keep like basically plain, right? With the what's it called? With the market cap, I would say like you could even get away with putting like 8 to 9K market cap, so at least you see some coins. But if you want to get at those 5K market cap coins, right? If you want to just like completely blast it as soon as it comes out, then that's where you're gonna want to like just completely raw dog it, right? And it's fine, because like Twitter tracker plays, you just want to be like, you want to see everything that comes out, right? That doesn't mean you're gonna trade everything that comes out, but you're gonna just want to see it. Now, with final stretch, you're gonna want these filters, and it can vary depending on how the volume is. And if you guys really want, it's just so easy. Just go import, and then you're going to push Control V, right? I'm going to export all these. They're going to be in my Discord, so you just copy them and then paste it, right? There's going to be 1 copy for new pairs, 1 copy for final stretch, and 1 copy for migrated. So the age, I want it to be the max 30 minutes because, well, why? I don't want to see a coin that's been trying to migrate for 4 hours that's just completely dead, right? Or it's just, you've seen those rug coins that have been up there for like 13 hours, and then all they need is some like dumb person to buy, and they're going to rug it, right? I don't want to see those coins because it's just a waste, right? It takes time to click on it. I just want to see coins that have potential, right? And even with these filters, there's still some filtering that you have to manually do, which I'll show you. Top 10 holders, 40% max. And I'm being lenient again, because like I could probably get away with like 30%, but it's just some coins that are sending do have like a little bit of top 10 holder ratio, and you have to wait for the PVV to stop so that the holder distribution isn't like super cooked, right? The dev holding 40% max. I could probably put like 20% max, but it's just sometimes there will be like a crazy coin that comes out with like some AI tech or something, and you're not going to see it if you don't have that. So I just have like 40%. Snipers, 40%, because like most coins with like massive amounts of snipers, like over 50, 60%, are just complete rugs, right? And insiders, 40%. Insiders are basically the same as bundles, but instead of them buying, they were sent the tokens. So like say like you were going trick or treating and you like give like 10 candies, you know, to yourself in like 10 different bags. So that's like insiders instead of you sending the candies to the 10 different bags and eating them, if that makes any sense. So bundles 50% max, and then this is what I have for final stretch. All right, now the metrics, I'm going to keep the minimum market cap at 10k because I don't want to see coins that are at 7k that are completely dead, or 10k at least shows that it could bounce back up from there. And I'm going to have the same metrics for migrated, the 12k minimum, because you've noticed a lot of coins on migrated will like go up to like 100k, completely nuke, and they'll go to zero, right? If they're starting to creep back up to 10k, that's actually a good sign that it could bounce and start, you know, recovering and maybe even going up for another run, right? So this is where you're able to catch it before everybody else does. Now on audit, like on final stretch, very, very similar. Now the maximum age I want to see is 120 minutes. I don't want to see coins that have been up there for tons and tons of hours. Now, if I kind of wanted to see what's been running for the day, then I'll just quickly switch it to like, you know, 24 hours just to see what big coins have been going. But typically 120 minutes, so that's 2 hours. And 40 top 10 holders, 40% max. These are max, by the way. 40% max on dev holding, 40% max on snipers, and 40% max on insiders and bundles. And yeah, that's pretty much the filters that I use. And then now I'm going to show you how I'm scanning, right? So if I'm looking at coins, right? So let's say I'm getting on and I'm just scanning. So let's see, AI selfie. What's this? My fiance sent. So it's like a Mr. Beast tweet. Let's see here. We got Danny in here. The chart looks like a little bit bundled. We can look at the top holders. So 4% insider. I don't really know exactly who that is. So if you guys don't know what insiders are, they are people that got sent the token. They never bought it. They got sent the token, right? So we can see on Inside X, which is a version of Bubble Maps, 6% holder, 4.3% cluster, right? So these are all clusters. So even though it didn't show in the bundler section on Axiom, if you look at the Bubble Maps, right, you can see we have 6% plus 4, so that's 10, and 15%, right? Now there is probably some hidden bundles, not including the insiders. So this is probably like 20% bundled if we're going to be for real. Now what's really cool is that it shows you the dev wallet where it was funded from. So it shows the dev wallet was funded from Binance. So 2 days ago, which is a little bit questionable, right? And we can look at Bubble Maps right now. If the dev wallet was funded a while ago, right, it's fine. But you know, now we can look at Bubble Maps. So we don't see anything on regular Bubble Maps. But if we turn on the magic nodes, looks like we don't see anything, right? So it's really good to use. It has multiple options, right? Because one might be wrong and one might be right, or one might be able to find them, right? And we can go to Cabal Spy. So this will show you any of the KOLs or like, you know, people that are in this coin. So it looks like all we have is this old guy that's in this coin. And then everybody else. So really not that many people in this coin. The volume is kind of slow. So now you've noticed, right? The bundlers, like I told you, it was 20%, right? You could rewind and I told you it was like around 20%. And it says 23% now, but it only shows when it rugs, right? So it sucks because like these bundlers are getting like, you know, way more sophisticated. So it's only going to show you after the dump happened, right? After they started clipping out a little bit, because like obviously the wallets are connected, but how are they going to hide that they're connected? Well, they'll send it in. Let's say they have 10 Solana and they send it to 10 different wallets, right? And then the 10 different wallets buy the token, right? So they bundle it. Well, on Bubble Maps and bundlers, they're going to catch, okay, all these wallets got sent from the same wallet, so they're connected, right? And it shows the connection on Bubble Maps, and then it will show on bundlers, right? So 50% is insane work, right? Like that's crazy. So if they send it into like an exchange, or, you know, not even just that, if they send it into like a liquidity pool, so if they send like 10, you know, like say you throw a bunch, like say the candy analogy, right? Like say you have a bunch of Halloween candy, you mix your candy with your friends, and then you each pull out the same amount that you were given, right? You're getting different candies, but you're still getting the same amount back, right? You're just mixing the money. That's kind of what they do. They put it in a liquidity pool, they mix the money, or they put it in a mixer, right? Or whatever you want to call it, right? A tumbler or an exchange, multiple different exchanges, because they all send it from one exchange. There's just a bunch of different ways, right? Then it's really hard to trace where it originally came from and be able to link that these wallets are connected until after they consolidate the funds, right? Which means they kind of start rugging the coin. They start sending all the SOL and collecting it back to the main wallet. then they start to find the difference where it's like, okay, these funds are getting consolidated. This is a rug coin, and then start showing on bubble maps. So the best ways to tell that are firstly, looking on different like Inside X or bubble maps, comparing them both, right? And next is also looking at the holders. And this is where you're going to be like, okay, did they trade the same tokens, right? And if all the holders, like the top holders, have lower soul balances, then it's very, very likely to be a rug, right? Very, very, very likely. Because like seriously, like okay, unless you're like super broke, right? You got like 0.1 soul or 0.2 soul, like that's your whole life savings. Then like what I'm saying, like if every single top holder, like let's look at a real coin so I can show you an example. Let's look at this Mr. Dad coin. So it looks like, yeah, this is another rug. Let me just find. Let's look at this pen 15. So this looks like a more normal looking chart. So this guy, he has very low soul balance. 6 soul, 10 soul, 132 soul, right? So like these are like sort of normal looking holders. And then with this one, it's like, like it looks sort of all right, but there is some like really low balances. So the thing is, like, I get one thing is like people want to trade because like, people like they're like, oh, but like when do you know when to get in a trade, right? You have to wait for it to come to you with these kind of trades, right? You're not going to be just like trying to buy every single coin, trying to buy, because you're just going to get completely cooked. You need to be like coming in with a strategy, and you need to be patient. The thing is, the nice with scalping is you're able to get in and out of trades really, really quickly, and you're able to grow your portfolio very, very, very quickly as well, right? So we can look at a simple coin. It's a community. It looks like Dex was paid. Bundlers are relatively low. We got a normal, somewhat decent looking holder balances. And we can look at bubble maps, turn on magic nodes. And okay, there's a couple links, and then we can go to Inside X as well. And then there's a couple links as well. So not really horribly bundled. And then I think what the thing is, it's like I show you guys what entries are, right? If you've seen my previous videos, like you'd see, okay, like 20K would be like strong support right here. Like you've seen, it's been able to like stay in this range for a little bit. So if you were to like look to enter, maybe look to enter it around this area, maybe 22, and just be patient. You know what I'm saying? Wait for it to come to you, because like you're gonna be like, oh, that was the dip. Oh, you're gonna FOMO in, right? And you're gonna get completely wrecked, and it's eventually gonna go back to where I told you. So like you just need to lock in, all right? So this is where you're gonna be just waiting, right? Now let's say if the price is at like say it goes up to 42 or 40 something K, right? So it looks like Sleep just scalped that, so that's not too shabby. So look, I'd maybe look to be entering at like this 30K because you could see it's entered, right? And I'm just drawing you guys entries, right? I'm not saying you have to run any crazy technical analysis. I'm just showing you guys how to like enter in on coins with a strategy, because if you don't go in with a strategy, you're just gambling, okay? You need to build, if it's completely 100% strategy, like if you just use 100% indicators, you just 100% do that, then you're going to get wrecked, because then bots could do it, right? You could just be like beep, 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 and then get a bot to do it. You need to have the human element too, to know if the coin's funny, if you laugh at it, if it's good, right? Because AI can't laugh. They don't know what's funny. Maybe some do, but really realistically they don't, right? So you need to be like, okay, is this a narrative? Is this a good narrative? They paid Dex, right, which is good. Look at the latest. So we got 30 members in here. Last post was 2 minutes ago. So you want to see people posting in here actively. They did post that they paid Dex, which is good. So it looks like it's maybe struggling a little bit here. And you guys don't want to buy within ranges. Like there's no point. Like why would I want to buy within like this, right? It's 50-50 chance it either goes out of range or, goes down. So when you're on an uptrend, right, then you could maybe look for getting in a dip, right? So let's say if this is on an uptrend and it completely like dumps super hard to like 30K, then you could scalp from 30K up to here, right? Let's say it bids back up to here and you're taking that 20, I would say honestly like 30 to like 60% gain is what you're aiming for. Now 20 is completely fine. You don't want to really be like, if you're aiming like your risk to reward, if you're like risking like, 1 soul to make 0.1 soul, and your downside potential is super, super, super like high, right? Because if it's in a consolidation area, then you're just gonna get completely cooked, right? If it's like, you have to understand like there needs to be a imbalance between buyers and sellers. So when a coin like nukes super, 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 super hard, there's gonna be a way, way, way bigger imbalance between the sellers and the buyers, right? There's gonna be more demand for buyers right here. And you're looking at, you see this, like it bounced off of this area. This is a stable area at least, right? This one, it was just going up, up, up. So then you're going to be able to bid the price here, right? But it has to fit the criteria. Is this a funny coin? Is this a coin that can send, right? If we look like, let's look at this coin, right? I got cooked on this coin. Like, I was actually up. Like, I was up like 2 or 3 SOL. So if you guys were here yesterday or like the day before yesterday, you would have seen this coin, Jack Doherty. So it's actually kind of cooked because I could have made like a bunch of money if I just bought on DevSell. But like, because people started CTOing it. So if you don't know Jack Doherty, he's like some like TikToker kid. And he basically has been rugging coins for like the past 3 months. Like, he'll just make a coin and then post it and rug it. So I was scalping this, right? So you could see how my entries are, right? Like, I got into here at let me see. I bought 2 buys in 179 at 137, right? So right around here, and then I scalped it up to here, or sorry, I scalped it from down here to here, and then I scalped from down here to here, right? So I'm taking these big like sell-offs, right? And then you're just kind of, I'll draw it out so you guys can visualize it. You're going from like here to here, right? You're taking from here to here. Oh, so that was a bad drawing. From here to here, basically. Sorry, my drawings are kind of bad. Let's see where else I was scalping this. So it went from 240 all the way down to 150, right? So that's like, you could see it was bouncing from here. And this is just a big sell-off, right? Now this works for like memes, right? Or CTOs or just stuff like this. If it's an AI coin, you have to be very careful because like, you know, you don't know what's going on behind those, right? Extracting this, and look, like you're going from, let's see, 180 into 436, right? So it's like $100 profit, $80 profit per trade, right? So this is where I started getting absolutely cooked on this coin, right? So I put in like 8 SOL or like 10 SOL total or something, and then I think I lost like a total, because I was up 3 SOL, so I think I lost like 7 SOL on this coin. And I was up 3 SOL, right? So this is just minus the profit. So it was like 7 or 6.6 or something like that. And the reason why I was getting absolutely cooked, right, is because I didn't check, right? So technically there was a CEO, right? Or CTO, there was a community, right? But he also had the tweet of this. He said he was, I guess, going to go live with Alon, which is like the creator of Pump Fund. And yeah, so I was buying these. I was buying the dip. The thing is, that's tricky. Is like you have to be quick with these, right? Like the dip can be eaten up really quick. So what my thesis was, okay, it went all the way from like 500 all the way down to like 300, and you could see like where I was looking at, like right around here is kind of where it was like holding its support. So I was thinking, okay, so this coin, it's probably just some of the top holders that are clipping out, and I'm just gonna bid it up to here and maybe scalp it up to like 400 or like 430, right? And the thing is, I cannot speak. The thing is that I did bad with this, or what I did bad with this is I just kind of overexposed like on this trade. I usually trade with 1 to 2 SOL per trade. This one I kept DCAing like a little bit more heavy, and that's kind of what ended up biting me, right? So I show you guys, like I think I've showed you guys in past videos like winning trades, but I also want to show you guys the losing trades, right? Because that's just the truth of trading, right? Everybody wants to show like all the wins and everything, but the biggest lessons that you can learn are from your losses, right? And yeah, so like see, I had a friend buy here. Looks like we got this guy that Bobby bought 900, right? So that, I guess we were all thinking the same exact thing, right? That this was just like a dump from top holders or something, because it was a CTO. Like if you guys didn't see from back here, he rugged the coin. People were like, if you guys know the Quant Kid coin, he rugged it too, and everybody was like jumping in on it to CTO to send it without him, basically, right? So with this one, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm like looking to enter in at. I bought in, and then it just completely started giga nuking, right? So 249, I got filled like right around here, and yeah, I just started getting completely cooked. Now my average entry I think was around here at this point. At this point, it was right around like here, and I could have taken a loss. So this is where I could have just sold up here, take a -2 SOL loss, and then no, I just kept holding it. I round tripped. I bought in here, and I ended up selling everything right here. So the thing is, you need to always be watching. And I wasn't really like, you know, if you're able to trade on a call, people are able to call these things out while you're, you know, focused in on a trade, right? They could be like, oh, they just deleted this, or he just deleted the tweet, get out, right? But I wasn't really like focused, right? So I wasn't able to catch that. But that's where you have to be like super locked in, right? Because if you would have known he deleted the tweet, you would have never bought in at the end here, right? You wouldn't have touched it at all here. You would have just traded it through here. Or the best thing to do is you could have put a dev sell. So you go advance buy on dev sell, and then you do 1 SOL, and then, or whatever SOL amount, right? And then look, I had a friend, he put 0.1, he ended up selling for 10 SOL. Or sorry, He put 0.1 and he ended up selling for 1 sol, and then he posted the win in the server, so you could go check that out. So yeah, like 10x from here, like you get in at 10k, you sell at 100k. So like, bro, like imagine if you would have thrown like 2 or 3 sol at this on the dev cell, you would have been up so fat. So yeah, I know this video is getting a little bit longer, so I'm probably just gonna cut it off there. But I hope this information was super helpful for you guys. If you guys need a free trading Discord, feel free to join the one in the link description. Also have my Telegram linked in there as well. And yeah, use Axiom, the best trading platform out right now. And if you guys have any questions or any future ideas, feel free to drop them in the comments down below. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, thank you.